As soon as that ball left Granit Xhaka's foot from this view here in the North Bank lower, I knew it was in. As soon as he pulled that foot back and made contact, the game was done. What a brilliant goal. What a massive moment. That goal, I cannot explain how big of a goal, how big of a swing of the foot that was for Arsenal's season. Massive. Absolutely massive. And listen, I thought Granit Xhaka at times in the game, I wanted more from him. But just that one moment in itself, for me, is just... I'm happy for the guy. I really am happy for him. He's had a difficult time in this stadium. We all know that. But for him to score the goal that, for me, makes such a massive difference to Arsenal's season is absolutely huge. Talking about Granit Xhaka, for me, the man of the match, though, was Mohamed El Neni. I thought he was unbelievable. He bossed it in midfield. Absolutely bossed it. Didn't put a foot wrong. At times, playing out from the back. I spoke about this after the Chelsea game. There are times it put us in trouble. And today against United as well, playing out the back, there were times where the crowd, it's like, we've had Mikel Arteta for long enough now for us to know exactly what to expect. But we seem to almost press the reset button as a fan base and get nervous and jittery when we're playing out from the back. And I'll be honest, I was a bit frustrated by that, because I thought to myself, that's our style of football. If you're getting nervous, it's only going to make the players nervous. And it seemed like that did transcend to the players. Ramsdale, his distribution wasn't at it. What we're doing playing goal kicks to Bukayo Saka, we barely won a second ball today from goal kicks. I found that very frustrating. But Cedric, I don't think he was very good playing out from the back as well. But Mohamed El Neni playing out from the back didn't put a foot wrong. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And in terms of his ball recoveries and just all-round game, the way he get the ball ticking over, how tidy he was, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. So that's the second game in a row where I feel like Mohamed El Neni has been a real good performer for us. And you know what's interesting? We're playing a team, Man United here, we're back in the day, back in their heyday. They used to play players like Darren Fletcher and Ji-sung Park in big games. And almost feel like, maybe Mohamed El Neni could be that sort of player for us, where in the big games where you need someone really reliable, it might just be him. And yeah, I thought he did brilliantly today. And I wouldn't take him out of the team now. Simple as that. I just wouldn't take him out of the team. I thought he did so well. Anyway, Bukayo Saka, again, the threat that he causes every single game. I'm gutted that he went off injured. I'm praying that it's not a serious injury, because we desperately need Bukayo Saka in those other big fixtures, West Ham, Tottenham, all of that sort of stuff. He's one hell of a player. And it's so young as well. I'm in absolute awe of him. I really am. There's some big players on the pitch. Sancho, a lot of money. Pepe, a lot of money on the bench. You got Rashford, big reputation. But it's Bukayo Saka, for me, the one that stands out all the time, or always does the job. So unbelievably consistent. Let's look at the bigger picture here now. After those 3 defeats, how on earth could anyone predict 1 goal in 3 defeats against Palace, Brighton, Southampton, and now all of a sudden we've played 2 games against Chelsea away, United at home, we've scored 7 goals. It's crazy. Arsenal are a ridiculous club. We are an absolutely ridiculous club. I just cannot understand how we're meant to cope with this. The emotions, the roller coaster ride of emotions is absolutely crazy supporting this club. And honestly, it's a madness to be a fan of this club. You just don't know what to expect. In this top 4 race, you don't know who you can trust. United, Arsenal, Tottenham, maybe none of them. Like, maybe all fans feel like this about all of these clubs. And maybe that's why we're not, in the top 3, and we are kind of battling out for that top 4 spot. There's a lot of improvements to be made for each one of these clubs. I'm just hoping no matter what happens, Arsenal are the team that sneak that 4th spot. The impact of getting 4th is going to be huge. If we don't do it and it's Tottenham, they're going to pull away. They're going to get more funds to add better players. They might keep certain players if they don't do it. If they don't get top 4 and we get it, you have to hope that players like Kane and Son, they're going to have their heads turned. Obviously, they're at Brighton away. You might be watching this during the game. You might be watching it after the game. I'm praying Brentford do us a favour, just like they did when they went to Chelsea and go and put on a brilliant performance and somehow beat Tottenham. Because 2 defeats on the bounce for Tottenham, I think that will be very telling. Arsenal, the fact that we bounced back from 3 defeats is incredible. I don't think Tottenham have got it in them to bounce back from 2 defeats in a row. Now, the other thing I want to say as well, in this game, so flipping annoying the way we gave cheap goals away. If it wasn't for that cheap goal that we gave away, I feel like, we would have had a much easier ride. But when you look back at this game and you think United hit the post 3 times, they had that penalty obviously where they hit the post from as well, and some of the chances they had, I feel like, man, we do make life hard for ourselves. Even against Chelsea, we conceded so soon after scoring on 2 occasions, and on the second goal we've gone and done the same thing. Unbelievably frustrating. But that's what I was talking about with Granit Xhaka's goal. It was just the timing of it was so important. If we didn't get that goal, then honestly I feel like Man United were in the ascendancy and they were putting us under significant pressure. And when you look at, I think we had more possession overall from the eye test, but they would have had, I'm guessing they had more shots or more chances than us, if not just as many, because for so many long parts of that game, I felt like they were in the ascendancy, and it was frustrating. I was desperate for more control in the game. I think part of the reason why we lacked control, have to be honest, was Cedric and Tavares. Obviously great that Tavares got the goal, but overall the performance really, it just tells us that they're not the men, they're not the players to be in those positions. And I guess you have to give Cedric a little bit of credit because he's not the first choice starter. He's come in, and I think he's done a good job for as long as he's been in there. But I'm so relieved to have Tomiyasu in our lineup, or in our squad, and hopefully in our lineup in future games, because it was clear today Cedric wasn't the one. When he got subbed off for Tomiyasu, players, I think there were about 3 players that went up to him, gave him a hug, gave him high fives. I felt like there was a little bit of players getting behind him because they realised he had a difficult day of the office. And honestly, with Jadon Sancho up against him, I was constantly shouting for people to double up, and I think the players did do that very well. They did give Cedric that support. But ultimately, Cedric's not that guy. This summer transfer window is going to be absolutely huge for the fortunes and the future of Arsenal Football Club. And Champions League football will make the summer transfer window much easier and much more telling for Arsenal Football Club. It has to be us. It has to be. I'm just buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And look here, people aren't leaving. People are here just singing. The atmosphere in the stadium was incredible. Everyone was behind the team. The atmosphere at full time, people were singing, applauding the players off. It was absolutely brilliant today, and that's what we need. When we talk about every single game being a cup final for the rest of the season, we need cup final atmospheres. The two people that I was sitting around at the game, they were brilliant. Exactly what you need in the North Bank in terms of atmosphere and stuff. So a lot of love to those guys as well. In fact, I'll put the video on as well. And listen, massive moment in our season. What could have been a damning result. We've resurrected our season. We've lost 3, but we can forgive that now if we go to West Ham and win. And also, if we go and beat Tottenham, that's going to be the shootout. Up the Arsenal. See you next time.
What a result! Come on! I'm watching it with these